We call Rosh Hashanah Yom Harat Olam, the day the world was conceived. And during the sacred days which follow Rosh Hashanah, the conception of the world, we face the year ahead, rejoicing in potential, rejoicing in promise that comes with birth and new beginnings. But on these holidays, we also take in the harsh reality of the Unatana Tokef prayer. The path of our future is paved with questions. How many shall pass away from this world in the coming year? And how many will be born into it? Who will be at rest and who will wander? Who will be tranquil and who will be troubled? We don't know the answers to those questions in advance. We do all we can to control our lives. We plan and we put things in place, preparing ourselves for what we expect our days will bring, and we also prepare for what we hope will not happen. Think about insurance. But no matter how hard we try to shape our future, it is a journey of uncertainty. And when we recognize that uncertainty, that might inspire any possible emotion within us. Fear, hope, anticipation, ambivalence. It may cause us to dream. It may inspire us to let go of something. Well, the story of Jonah is an important one because it's so human. Jonah rejects the notion that there are forces beyond him that direct his life. Do we always want to believe that there are things beyond our control? In the pages of Jonah's story, that force is God. God compels Jonah to travel in a direction he never expected and he didn't want. And Jonah resists God, but his attempts to carve out his own path are thwarted. And ultimately, Jonah ends up, oddly enough, in the belly of a big fish, deep underwater, in that confining space. Jonah finally confronts the precariousness of life. And in that awareness, oddly enough, he finds comfort. And it's not a story that has a lot of comfort, but in that place, there is a moment where he finds it. Jonah's is a fantastical tale where evil suddenly turns to goodness, massive storms suddenly erupt and just as suddenly cease, where plants grow in a day and then wither overnight. We know nothing about this protagonist before he is plucked out of obscurity to make this journey, which will touch innumerable others. Really, it sounds like a fairy tale. But in his anonymity, Jonah really is every single one of us. Each one of us at one time or another ignores or resists what we cannot control. That might be the demands of other people, the forces of nature, our own conscience, the pressures of society. Sometimes our determination to change what is beyond our control leads us into the depths of despair and helplessness. But somehow those dark moments can often be pregnant with possibility. We have decided this year to bring this universal tale closer to us through a fictional modern-day character created by our very talented Rabbi Jessica Lenza. To take it out of this fantastic fable-style tale and bring it into a little corner of some of our worlds so that we can understand where these two places connect. This character that Rabbi Lenza created is a blend of many and any of us. The details of this character's story may not be the same as yours, but we believe that her struggle in finding balance between self-determination and fate will resonate with every single one of us. And so we prepare for this interpretive telling of our Haftarah with the blessing before the Haftarah on page 342. And we'll join together.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nviim tovim v'ratza b'divreihem hanemarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai Habocher b'Torah u'b'Moshe avdo u'b'Yisrael amo u'b'nvi'ei ha'emet b'tzedek.
I belong to a generation of women who were raised to think that we could have it all. A successful career, a loving marriage, adorable children. I simply needed to lean in. It seemed to work for all my friends. At least their Facebook posts advertise their lives that way. Don't get me wrong, I am legitimately happy for my friends when they check those all-important life boxes. But somehow I was always a little behind that curve, especially in my personal life. I'm ambitious. I pursued a big career. I figured I'd find a partner when the time was right. And then he and I would create that family together. And of course I wanted a family. I always saw myself as a mom. It was an inevitability, right? But as the candles on my birthday cake increased, I realized it wasn't an inevitability, that I actually needed to do something about it, that my chance at motherhood could be slipping through my fingers. So I committed to dating like it was my job. I signed up for JDate, Match, OkCupid, Bumble, Coffee Meets Bagel. I even went to a matchmaker. It was like a rotating door of potential husbands. And I had to become an expert at identifying flaws, decoding man-speak. When I made it to a second date, that was like a victory. And a third. And then finally, the rotation slowed a little. I began to focus on one repeat potential. He was smart and sweet, and I liked the way he treated me, caring without being condescending. And finally, I got to make that post. I said yes. We had a small ceremony, just those close to us. It was perfect. And then we started trying. A couple months went by, and I told myself to be patient. I even joked with my husband about how I'd be 90 before I got pregnant, like Sarah in the Torah, all of us in diapers at the same time. But you know what they say. If you don't use it, you lose it. My mom had said that to me when I was still dating around. And that's what I thought of after the first miscarriage. Or maybe it was the second, I don't know anymore. There were 5. And I died a little with each one. My husband, he said to me, maybe this is what God wanted. Maybe we weren't destined to be parents. Maybe it would be better if we didn't have children. With children, we couldn't travel the way we wanted to. We would be encumbered with our responsibilities to them. We would lose our late morning sleep-in sessions, and I could have more time to focus on my career. Maybe it was for the best. My husband reassured me. So, we gave up. Not officially. We didn't have a conversation about it, but we both slowed at our efforts. And my husband, he's just resumed his life. It's made me feel so alone. Why do we use that word? Miscarriage. Why do we use that word? It implies that I did something wrong because I didn't carry the pregnancy the way it was meant to be carried. But it was my body that betrayed me every month. It wasn't something that I could control, right? I mean, in spite of all of the medications, the injections, the acupunctures, everything, every intervention I desperately sought, in spite of it, my body refused to cooperate. But I cannot deny the role I played in this. It was the accumulation of my choices. It was my decision to postpone this process selfishly that led to this barrenness. I thought there would be time. And maybe there was this little part of me that didn't want it or wanted enough. And I thought I wanted it, I really did, but maybe there was a part of me that knew I could fail at motherhood. I don't know. But I know I'm not ready to give up just yet. So I went back to the doctor. I didn't even tell my husband. And sitting there in that thin paper gown, I just tried to wrap my head around what brought me to that moment. And I started crying. And then I did something I haven't done in years. I prayed. Eilecha Adonai ekra ve'el Adonai etchanan. God, please, I am asking you, I am begging. Shema Adonai v'choneni Adonai heye Sheli. Please, God, listen to me. I can't do this alone. I need your help. And in that room, there was just me and my desperate last attempt, and God. And in this incredible wave of calm just washed over me. I can't explain it. But in that moment, I knew it would be okay. That I would be okay.
We join in the blessing after the Haftarah on page 351. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam tzor kol haolamim tzadik bechol hadorot ha'el haneman ha'omer ve'oseh ha'medaber umkayim shekol devarav emet v'tzedek al haTorah v'al ha'avodah v'al ha'nevim v'yom ha'kippurim hazeh אשר נתת לנו, אדוני אלוהינו, למחילה ולסליחה וכפרה, לכבוד ותפארת. על הכל, אדוני אלוהינו, אנחנו מודים לך ומברכים אותך. יתברך שמך בפי כל חי, תמיד לעולם ועד. ודברך אמת וקיים לעד. ברוך אתה אדוני, מלך מוכר וסולח לעוונותינו, לעוונות עמו בית ישראל, ומעביר אשמותינו בכל שנה ושנה, מלך על כל הארץ, מקדש ישראל ביום הכיפורים.
Jonah's is the only story in the Bible which ends with a question. And so we leave this character, this Jonah, in the midst of her journey, not knowing what comes next, not knowing where life will take her. That is where she was left. We all live our lives moving from question to question, untethered, but not adrift. This woman found solace in prayer not because she expected it would determine her circumstance, but because after her desperate attempts to grasp at any source of comfort, she was finally able to connect to the source of comfort. Some of us, like this fictional woman, also find consolation in tefillah, in prayer. Others discover meaning in teshuvah, in drawing close to other people, and still others in tzedakah, in bringing justice to our broken world. As we journey forward into the worry and wonder of the unknown, we take with us these three anchors: teshuvah, tefillah, tzedakah. They will not determine our path, but each may provide us with the context and comfort for the uncertainty that we encounter. Berosh Hashanah yikatevun, uvyom tzom kippur yikatemun. The heavens determine. On Rosh Hashanah it is written, on Yom Kippur it is sealed. As mortals, we are left with questions. What is within our limitations? And what are our opportunities? What lies within our control? And what is inescapable? Who are we seeking? And who is calling?
Rosh Hashanah yikatevun, yikatevun, uviyom tzom kippur yikatemun, yikatemun. Berosh Hashanah yikatevun, yikatevun, uveyom tzom kippur yikatemun, yikatemun.
By fire, who by water,
truth, who in these realms of love, who by something blunt, who by avalanche, who by powder, who for his greed, who for his hunger, and who is calling.
And who by brave ascent, who by accident, who in solitude, who in this mirror, who by his lady's command, who by his own hand, who in mortal chains, who in power, and
Rosh Hashanah yikatevun, yikatevun, ubeyom som kippur yekatemun, yekatemun.
is calling.
U'teshuva, u'tefila, u'tzedaka, mavirin et roa hagezera.
I am one blessed rabbi to have such talented colleagues. I'm so grateful to Rabbi Lenza, who in her day job is the director of religious school engagement and clearly brings so many skills and blessings to our congregation, to Rabbi Reines for collaborating these past couple of months on an experience for us here on Yom Kippur afternoon.